ball game. Again, couldn't be proud of our football team in there. Not an easy game. Good football team, but our guys hung in there from the first minute to the 60th minute, and it was a ball game. We knew we were in for a dogfight. I give Brendan Armstrong and Bronco Mendenhall a lot of credit. We thought their receiving cores was as good as they, just overall. I mean, you look at Downs last week in North Carolina, we knew he was the guy we had to stop, but you had to stop all of these guys. I mean, they were solid. And again, they've thrown for a lot of yards on a lot of people, so I wasn't happy with our pass defense today, but we scored more points than they did. Had some critical plays in the game. I mean, you look at Jordan Addison with 4 touchdown catches. He takes a kickoff return for a touchdown. Addison had another big, a big punt return that set us up. We threw an interception in the second half. Our defense, held. Right there in the third, beginning of the third quarter. Wasn't a good way to start the third quarter. But then, that 4th and 4, where Virginia was offsides on the field goal, we got a chance to have another fresh series, was critical. And Jordan Addison's last TD pass, and then that 4th down stop down in the red zone. Just a lot of plays to be made out there, and our kids, made plays. They kept believing, and like I said, Virginia's a good football team. Again, Brendan Armstrong must have been able to play last week. Any wincing we saw in pregame, must have been an act, because that guy's a tough guy and a really, really good football player. So, Coastal Champions, that's really not what our goal is to be ACC championships, but we got, unfinished business with Syracuse this weekend, and then we'll all head to Charlotte. So, questions?
Pat, when you guys went to Jordan, 2 of those were on 4th down. One was on that late 3rd down. Situations where teams might think, hey, run the ball, grind out the yards, but you guys went deep to him on those plays. Was that safe for you guys, the way you just rely on him?
Yeah, I mean, that was the plan going in. We knew they, tried to pack the box, and we're going to try to stop us on 4th down. So, we're about 93% run on 4th and 1, and really maybe 3rd and 1. We've run the ball, so we knew that. We built some tendencies up that way, and Coach Whipple had the plan. It's not easy as a head coach sitting there, watching us throw the ball on 4th and 1, but they thought it was there, and it was. It was a great call, and we made some big plays.
Denny Pickett's last game at Heinz Field, I think uniform for real this time. What can you say about his performance today?
Another gutsy performance. Kenny Pickett. I mean, him and Jordan Addison. Maybe they're in a tie for the Heisman. If Jordan Addison didn't get the Blitnikoff today, I don't know who does. But Kenny Pickett was outstanding. I mean, just a tough guy. Went down for a minute there and came roaring back and threw a pick before the half, but that was kind of a non-play really. I mean, he's taking a shot trying to get us in field goal range. Didn't like the one in the 3rd quarter, but we'll look at it. He must have done a good job disguising coverages. But Kenny Pickett, it's great for him to go out in Heinz Field like that.
How does it change your whole defensive game plan, losing your middle linebacker on the 3rd play of the game?
Changes it a lot. I mean, Sebastian is one of our best players on defense. That was a game changer. And he was critical in some of the coverage things that we were doing. We knew he could match up with some of those guys underneath athletically. We needed him in there, and to not have him that hurt us. He's become the leader of our defense and runs the show. But Brandon George and Chase Pine being a senior, came in there and stepped up, made some big plays as well.
What do you think of the call on Sebastian?
Players play, coaches coach, and officials officiate. I got my opinions, but I'll keep them to myself.
Pat, does this feel different than winning the Coastal a few years ago? Older group, programs maybe in a different spot?
Older group, but what feels different is being able to do it right here in front of our hometown, in Pittsburgh, in front of all our Panther Pitt, the Pitt fans. They deserve that today. That was fun to do it here, as opposed to down in Winston-Salem, North Carolina by ourselves. Even though we had a few fans there, but to be able to do it there, have a trophy presentation there in Heinz Field is historic for our guys. And we haven't been in the ACC that long, but to be Coastal champions twice, and again be able to clinch it here in Heinz Field was critical. And we didn't really talk about it during the week. I really didn't want to talk about it. Just wanted to just be 1-0, and that's what our kids did.
What about the state of the program 3 years later?
Hey, just 1-0 today, Larry. I mean, Jerry, you guys can write what you want to write. The state of the program is good. I mean, we're in good position, but you're only as good as your last outing. And, you know, we'll move on. We got a lot of things to fix. We gotta get healthy and got a good Syracuse team up in Syracuse, New York next week.
You talk about, as a head coach, it's hard to say, okay, we're gonna throw it on 4th and 1. Is part of being okay with that, the trust you have in Kenny and Jordan personally to say, these guys, we know we can execute.
Yeah, Kenny, Jordan, and Coach Whipple, it's like, wow. It's just, you know, I mean, it's 1 yard, we can run a quarterback sneak and probably get it, but, you know, it's big plays in the game, and, you know, it's why you hire good people to do the job and set it up and get it done.
What'd you like from your running game, and was Izzy available late in the game as well?
Izzy wasn't available, you know, got a little tweaking, he'll be fine, you know, he's got some good dance moves in there, post-game, so he's fine. But we just didn't wanna make sure that, you know, he's gonna be okay, but, you know, we got faith, and again, you guys ask all the time, like, why we rotate those guys, because we trust everybody, and, Vince Davis had a great day, you know, Rodney's a bull, you know, he had some terrific runs there near the end, and you can't win championships with one guy, you need to have a few, and you gotta keep them with you, you gotta keep them engaged, and you gotta keep giving them the ball, and, you know, again, I guess, you know, Vince had a nice day, I think 100 yards rushing, and, it's a good day for our rushing game.
There were a number of big plays on special teams, you had the kickoff return, a good punt return, A.J. Woods had a really critical fumble recovery. What do you see in that area of the game overall?
Well, we've been waiting to break one. You know, putting Izzy back to our kickoff return is a great move. He's physical, he's fast. That was fun to watch. You know, a kickoff return for a touchdown. You don't get them very often, and we've been waiting to explode in one of these special teams. And, it only happens when it happens. And so many touchbacks nowadays. You don't get many opportunities. I mean, they fair caught every kickoff return. I don't know if they didn't like how we were running down the field or what, but I was kind of shocked at that. But our return game has gotten good the last few weeks, especially our punt return with Jordan Addison back there.
What do you see the problems in the pass defense today?
I see it as a really good quarterback on the other side. I see a lot of great targets that he's got. They line up in a lot of different formations and empty. And again, I'll look at the tape. I'll be able to tell you a little bit more on Monday, but just didn't make plays. And again, they got good players. And they got a good scheme. And again, he's done that to everybody they played. And didn't do it to Notre Dame because he wasn't out there. Would have been a different story if another guy was out there. But like I said, I've got a ton of respect for Armstrong. I think he's outstanding.
Desmond Alexander hadn't been one of your bigger producers in the pass rush as much this year, but he came up huge today with 2 sacks. What have you seen from him just week in and week out leading into this game?
I'm so happy for Desmond. I didn't realize he had 2 sacks, but his whole family. We had senior night last night. He must have 10 people that came here from Florida. Desmond. I think he played for his family today. They had not been. His mom and dad had not been here since his official visit. As a matter of fact, I think it was the first game they've seen since his official visit. They're down in Florida. It's just tough for him to travel with family and all that. And so they saw a great ball game. And I saw something different out of Des this weekend. I think he knew his family was coming, and he practiced. It was different practice. So I think he needs to bottle that practice he had up and get a little bit more. But again, I think his best days are ahead of him.
When looking out of John Morgan over the last few weeks, I think he's now at 3.5 sacks in the last 3 games.
John's a good football player. He's got a lot of emotions and passion to play the game. He loves to rush the quarterback, and been happy with those guys. We got 5 sacks again today. It felt like we had 0 sacks. As a head coach, it felt like we didn't get any pressure at all. But I think we got a few in the second half that were big, and those guys are playing well up front.
Now, when did you know that this team had it in them to win a division championship?
Back in spring ball, I guess. I mean, that's when you knew. I mean, we knew we had a good football team. We knew we had some guys returning, and and you got Kenny Pickett, you got Jordan Addison, Savasi Dennis, Damari Mathis, Desmond Alexander. You got some great football players, and we got to get healthy and get ready for the next one.
You opened the fourth quarter with 3 true freshmen on the field on offense. What's it say that you have trust in those guys?
Yeah, I mean, Jane Bradley's done some great things. I don't know who the rest of those guys. I guess Gavin Bartholomew. I don't know who's the third.
Rodney.
Rodney, of course. I mean, those are good football players, and they've come a long way since fall camp. And we had the ball for almost 11 minutes. I think 10 minutes and 54 seconds in the fourth quarter. That's how you win championships. Our offense had the ball and kept that potent offense off the field.
Pat, this is a division that since it's formed has never really had a dominant team that was sort of the analog to what Clemson has done on the other side. Do you feel like winning this championship now twice since 2018 would put Pitt in that conversation or could lead to that?
It could lead to that. We have to win an ACC championship to do that. And, you know, winning the division is nice, but, you know, I've been part of, you know, division championships, but, you know, the real championship is to come. And we want to win an ACC championship. I think, you know, that's the ultimate goal. And, you know, until we do that, like Clemson has, we haven't done anything, to be honest with you. What really have you done? We've done this before, and again, I've been around at the division championships, and I think our kids were happy the last time just going there. But now we get an opportunity to go back to Charlotte, and it's gonna be a different story. You know, I think, you know, anytime you get to go once, it's kind of, you feel really good about it. But when you go the second time, you go to win it, and that's kind of what I've done in the past, and that's what we're gonna do this year.
Pat, that's what I was actually gonna ask them. Does it feel though more tangible? I mean, 4 years ago, you play a great team in the ACC championship game, and you guys are sort of like, hey, we're here, this is great. Does it feel like it's attainable and not just, hey, we get to go and play, but that it's something that's actually?
Yeah, I thought it was attainable back then. I mean, I think we always have, you know, hope and faith and belief that we can win the thing, and I think our kids went down there, but I just think, you know, it was a little bit different, but our guys are focused on that, and again, there's some good teams in there, whether it's Wake, Clemson, I don't know, North Carolina State, I don't know who our opponent's gonna be, I have no idea, I haven't even looked to see what's going on over there, and who's won, who lost, you know, what are the possibilities of, you know, who the even opponent is, but we'll dig into that this week and start to get game planning on that next game too.
What was it feeling like for you, holding the microphone in the middle of Heinz Field, talking to the fans?
It was awesome. Like I said, the fans were outstanding. Pitt, you know, the Panther Pit was like they've been all year. I mean, I can't say enough about, you know, all our season ticket holders. You know, everybody that showed up today, last week, the week before. They've been outstanding. The best I've seen in 7 years that I've been the head coach here, and hopefully it just continues to get better. And they travel to Syracuse this weekend too.
Will you reward yourself or celebrate tonight or anything by Monday, just relishing in the fact that?
Maybe, I don't know. Depends on what time I get out of here. I'm gonna take a shower, put my suit back on, and you know, it's just good to see my wife and kids out on the field. They were excited. It was good to get all our families down on the field. And I think it was 6 minutes left to go in the game. We got them down there expecting the victory, and it's good that our wife and kids, our staff, could get down and enjoy the moment down on the field.
Okay.
And there's number 8 right there.
Thank you very much.
So now you'd rather